will be sued. And I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days.
Today in a New York federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is trafficking, racketeering, and more.
Just when it seemed the Diddy scandal had reached its darkest depths, the FBI has reportedly unearthed something even more disturbing. Beneath the luxurious facade of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs' sprawling estates lies a hidden world few could have imagined. Federal agents, deep in their ongoing investigation, have uncovered what appears to be a secret underground prison beneath one of his properties, a discovery that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. This isn't just tabloid speculation. It's a chilling revelation unfolding in real time. Picture the scene. Agents descending into dim, narrow tunnels beneath the mansion, their flashlights slicing through heavy silence. They navigate a maze of cells, sealed rooms, and suffocating passageways. But the horror doesn't end there. The most terrifying twist? These tunnels don't stop at Diddy's property. They stretch further, reportedly linking to other elite estates in the area, forming a dark, underground network of secrets hidden in plain sight. What lies beneath the surface of the celebrity world may be more sinister than anyone dared to believe.
It sounded crazy, like I said before. They said that 2,300 people reached out to the law firm, and out of the 2,300 people, I guess they decided to go with just a little over 100, which seems like it's they just put out the number and everybody's calling to see if they can get a check.
It's insane. It's insane. Now, again, he did say that nothing has been filed yet because he says he wants to make sure that they do their due diligence and get this right.
And now, the question on everyone's mind, what was this underground prison really used for? Was it a holding area for victims? A part of something even darker? A vast, hidden system of control linked to the elite? The implications are chilling, and the unanswered questions are multiplying by the hour. Theories are already exploding across social media. Some whisper it's not just about Diddy, that this might be a piece of a much larger puzzle. Could this discovery tie into the long-rumored underground bunkers said to serve the world's most powerful figures? Hollywood has always harbored its secrets, but this feels different. It echoes decades-old rumors of shadowy tunnels beneath the Playboy Mansion. It stays comparisons to the dark corridors said to exist on Epstein's infamous island. Could Diddy's hidden passageways be connected to the same secretive underworld? If so, who else has walked these halls? And what unthinkable acts have those walls witnessed? The timing of this revelation is damning. Diddy is already fighting for his life, facing charges of trafficking, racketeering, and grotesque allegations of abuse. His legal battle is underway, but the FBI isn't waiting for a verdict. Their investigation is moving fast, and each new day seems to expose something more disturbing than the last. This is no longer just about celebrity scandal or misconduct. It's beginning to look like a matter of national significance. The story is expanding, the stakes are escalating, and the pressure is crushing. If these tunnels could speak, what horrors would they confess? Could they finally expose the dark truths behind decades of whispers, the rumors that have haunted Diddy and his infamous party for years? Only time, and the relentless work of federal agents, will tell. But one thing is clear, the surface has barely been scratched.
Because we now know who all the prosecutors will be on Diddy's trial. They're all women. They have assembled a team of female prosecutors, and that is definitely not by accident.
For years, whispers about Diddy's infamous parties have circulated behind closed doors, but now those stories are coming into chilling focus. What really took place during those wild, ultra-exclusive gatherings? Witnesses have begun to describe scenes that sound more like a psychological thriller than a party, masked guests, eerie rituals, and acts too disturbing to fully articulate. Substances reportedly flowed without limit, and guests vanished into private rooms, some re-emerging hours later, dazed, disoriented, and visibly shaken. Were these underground spaces simply a playground for excess? Or were they something far more sinister? The question must be asked, were these hidden chambers used as prisons, or as stages for something darker, something twisted? Former girlfriends, most notably Cassie Ventura, have already offered harrowing accounts of what life was like behind Diddy's luxurious facade. Cassie has accused him of isolating her, exerting complete control over her life, and coercing her into situations that she described as degrading, humiliating, and deeply traumatic. Her testimony introduced a world to the term freak-offs, chilling, ritualistic sessions in which women were allegedly forced into disturbing acts, often in front of Diddy and his inner circle. These weren't spontaneous party indulgences. They were methodically orchestrated events, engineered with precision and cloaked in secrecy. Cassie said she felt she had no choice but to obey, not out of desire, but out of fear. Fear of what might happen if she said no. Now, in light of the FBI's ongoing investigation, the alleged discovery of underground tunnels and rooms, new and terrifying questions are surfacing. Were these the very spaces where those freak-offs took place? Were these underground chambers part of a larger, hidden system of abuse? And perhaps most disturbingly, how many people knew? How many helped keep it all running? As the case against Diddy intensifies, the shadows are being forced into the light, and what's emerging from the darkness is nothing short of horrifying.
Piece of a lot of what happened during direct testimony were freak-offs. And what the prosecution tried to show was that he forced and or coerced her into doing these freak-offs. And we've talked about this earlier this week, that at least my opinion is that in a lot of these, the prosecution just didn't close the loop. It was something.
The deeper we dig, the more disturbing this case becomes. Cass's allegations have unleashed a torrent of new revelations. Over 100 individuals have now come forward, each with harrowing stories of abuse, coercion, and violence tied to Diddy and his inner circle. What's most chilling is a consistency. Many describe eerily similar patterns of manipulation, threats, and exploitation. Despite the mounting testimonies, Diddy's legal team remains in full denial. They claim he is being unfairly targeted by the government due to his race, and insist the allegations are baseless. But how do they explain the tunnels? How do they justify the prison cells, the hidden rooms? And what about the growing cache of evidence, text messages, video footage, and eyewitness accounts that collectively paint a damning portrait of a man allegedly leading a disturbing double life? The tunnels, in particular, have become emblematic of the case's darkest implications. Their very existence invites alarming questions. Who built them? How long have they been there? What purpose did they serve? Were they used for smuggling? For detaining people? Or simply as secret passageways for Diddy and his associates to move undetected? While it's true that underground bunkers and panic rooms aren't uncommon among the ultra-wealthy, experts suggest this is different, deliberate, sinister, and far from standard security features. Even more troubling are reports that some of these tunnels connect to other properties. Who else knew about them? Who else used them? The shadows cast by this case are growing longer, and what lies beneath may be far darker than anyone imagined.
Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers describe the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
The revelations surrounding these underground tunnels have unleashed a storm of speculation online. Whispers have turned into roars, as many draw eerie parallels to other high-profile scandals, stories of secret passages, hidden chambers, and networks that operate far from the public eye. How deep does this rabbit hole truly go, both literally and metaphorically? Are there more tunnels yet to be found? More concealed rooms hiding untold horrors? And if so, what exactly will they reveal? Hollywood has long shimmered with glamour and illusion, but beneath the spotlight lies a darker truth, one few are ever allowed to see. These tunnels are more than just architecture. They are a physical symbol of the darkness that festers behind scenes. A chilling reminder that the real horror often lies beneath the surface, behind locked doors and buried secrets. And then, there are the parties. Wild, hedonistic, infamous. We've all heard the rumors, whispered tales of decadence behind velvet ropes. But now, those rumors are beginning to feel alarmingly real. Witnesses have come forward, describing nights of chaos and excess, where boundaries vanished and nothing was off limits. Allegedly, substances flowed like water. Consent? A concept blurred into oblivion. Were these parties just a surface, a flashy distraction for something far more sinister happening beneath? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, how many knew? How many watched and said nothing?
Alleged victim number 4, who goes by the name Mia. It's an alias. She is one of the people who is testifying where the judge has granted her anonymity. She is on the stand, but everybody in the courtroom has been warned. Do not reveal her identity. do not even give a physical description.
You can't help but wonder, if these tunnel walls could talk, what terrifying stories would they tell? How many secrets still lie hidden beneath Diddy's sprawling mansions, or within the estates of other Hollywood elites? The FBI isn't done digging, and neither are we. Then came the tapes, discovered deep within an underground bunker, sealed inside what investigators described as a secured vault. They weren't just ordinary recordings. These were different. Each tape was cryptically labeled, marked only with dates and code names. Their meanings? Unknown. Their contents? Potentially explosive. And now, the question haunting everyone is, what's on them? Early whispers are already setting the internet ablaze. Some say the tapes contain footage of the now notorious freak-offs. Others fear they hold evidence of something far worse, acts so depraved, so scandalous, they could shake Hollywood to its very core. If real, these tapes could answer questions that have lingered for years and raise even darker ones in their place. Who appears in them? How many knew what was happening? And how far will they go to keep it hidden? Authorities are reportedly working around the clock to review the footage. While official statements remain tightly controlled, leaks from inside the investigation suggest that Diddy may not be the only one implicated. The fallout could be catastrophic. Not just for him, but for anyone who ever stepped into that world. Producers, moguls, celebrities, maybe even politicians. Imagine the chaos if names start to drop. What if these tapes expose faces we all recognize, faces we once trusted? The possibilities are endless and terrifying. If this evidence surfaces, it could become the biggest scandal Hollywood has ever faced. We've seen giants fall before, but this could change everything. And now, one question remains. How far will they go to keep these secrets buried?
Got this new audio from the Diddy trial, and it is pretty explosive. This is audio of a voicemail that Diddy left to the Jane Doe who's been testifying in this trial for the last couple days. And he sounds really annoyed. He's talking about her maybe giving him the silent treatment, and his response is, I got a busy life. I can't be dealing with your silent treatment.
Meanwhile, survivors are beginning to step forward, and their stories are painting a harrowing picture of what allegedly took place behind Diddy's gilded doors. Many speak of being drawn in with promises of glamour, fame, and once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. But those dreams quickly turned into nightmares. What they found instead was a world of control, manipulation, and fear. Some allege they were offered hush money, not small amounts, but millions of dollars, just to vanish, to keep quiet, to disappear. But that silence is finally breaking. Emboldened by the ongoing investigation and the bravery of others coming forward, they are refusing to be silenced, and what they are revealing is deeply disturbing. One survivor described the experience of feeling invisible, just another disposable pawn in what she called a twisted game. Another recalled a moment she tried to leave, only to be met with threats so severe she believed her entire life could be destroyed. These are not just stories. They are testimonies of trauma, of fear, of control so absolute it left victims voiceless until now.
Afraid of coming forward. They've been afraid of what he could potentially do to them within the industry, what he could do to them professionally, maybe even personally. And so, yes, it's been a dark secret they've held on to for a very, very long time.
We've just obtained explosive new audio from the ongoing Diddy trial, and it's sending shockwave through an already scandal-ridden case. The clip is a voicemail allegedly left by Diddy himself, directed at the Jane Doe who's been testifying for the past few days. In it, he sounds irritated, even dismissive, responding to what he perceives as a silent treatment with, I got a busy life. I can't be dealing with your silent treatment, and we got to keep it. It's a chilling tone, one that speaks volumes, even in its brevity. At the heart of this unraveling saga stands Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend, and now a central figure in exposing the truth. Her allegations didn't just spotlight Diddy's alleged misconduct. They lit a fire under a case that had remained in the shadows for far too long. Cassie has been called a whistleblower, a truth-teller, the one who cracked the silence wide open. Her claims about the so-called freak-off were among the first to reveal the disturbing reality behind the glamorous facade of Diddy's infamous parties. She spoke of a world where boundaries were obliterated, where guests were allegedly coerced into participating in deeply disturbing acts. Cass's bravery has emboldened others, but it's also put a target on her back. Diddy's legal team has worked hard to discredit her, painting her as bitter, vengeful, unstable. Yet with each new allegation, her credibility only grows stronger. And now, we come to the most unsettling possibility of all. Was there more to these parties than just excess? Some survivors are hinting at something darker, elements of ritualistic behavior, masked figures, strange symbols, and practices that go far beyond the wild and illicit. The allegations are eerily familiar, echoing stories from the Epstein Island network, the whispered legends about tunnels beneath the Playboy Mansion, and other elite gatherings cloaked in secrecy. Could Diddy's alleged underground prison be just one piece of a far more sinister puzzle? And if so, who else was part of it? These are the questions investigators are asking. And now, the world is demanding answers.
He cornered me. And then he asked me, with his arm up, he asked me, "How you doing?" I'm kind of like, wow, this is what the heck? Very uncomfortable. And then he rubbed his hand down my breast. He said, "If you need anything at all, you let."
But what about the neighbors? In recent weeks, people living near Diddy's sprawling estates have reportedly begun to speak out, sharing accounts that, in hindsight, feel more unsettling than ever. Some recall luxury cars arriving under the cover of darkness, with shadowy figures hurried through gates under tight security. Others remember loud music, muffled voices, and parties that seemed to go on for days, all cloaked in secrecy. No one ever truly saw what was happening behind those walls. But one neighbor claims private security patrolled the perimeter around the clock, making it very clear outsiders were not welcome. Was this simply the lifestyle of a high-profile celebrity? Or were these signs of something far more organized and deliberate? The intense secrecy surrounding Diddy's properties only adds to the mounting speculation. Because for some investigators, the estate wasn't just a home. It was possibly the nerve center of a much larger operation. And that brings us back to the tunnels. Could they have been used for more than secretive party entrances? Some officials are reportedly exploring a far darker possibility, that these underground passages were used to move people, illegal substances, or other contraband without detection. Whispers suggest the tunnels may have been specifically designed to evade law enforcement, their layout engineered not for escape, but for movement, efficient, deliberate, and far-reaching. In fact, some theorists believe these passages didn't just serve one estate. They may have linked multiple properties together. Even more disturbing, rumors are now swirling about private airstrips, hidden docks, and other secluded transport points that could have allowed for the quiet movement of anything or anyone. While these claims remain unverified, investigators are reportedly analyzing the geographic layout of the tunnels, and early indicators suggest they were built to connect, not isolate. Which raises a chilling question. Who else was involved? And what were these tunnels truly built to hide?
I'm sorry, I'm just I'm in this moment right now. This is crazy. Sorry. People don't really know how much what it does to you when something that you love is taken from you and thrown away like it don't even matter, and then they move on with their lives and you're stuck. You're stuck during those years. You're still stuck 21 years later.
Adding yet another layer of mystery, investigators have uncovered coded messages and encrypted files on devices seized during the mansion raids. According to sources close to the case, digital forensics teams are now poring over these files, searching for links to what may be a wider network of accomplices. Some of the encrypted content allegedly points to offshore bank accounts, shell companies, and untraceable payments made to unidentified individuals. If these transactions are tied to the alleged events within Diddy's estates, it suggests something much bigger, a vast, carefully orchestrated system built to fund, protect, and conceal whatever was happening behind closed doors. It's becoming increasingly clear this investigation is no longer just about Diddy. It's about pulling back the curtain on a hidden infrastructure, a web of secrecy, power, and control that may have operated in plain sight for years. And behind the scenes, a very different kind of battle is unfolding. Diddy's legal team is reportedly engaging in full-scale damage control, deploying every tactic possible to discredit the investigation and reframe the narrative. They've accused authorities of racial bias. They've claimed selective prosecution. And they are working tirelessly to portray Diddy as a real victim, a target of a flawed justice system. But beyond the legal spin and media soundbites, a more unsettling narrative is taking shape. Whispers are emerging of high-powered influence being quietly leveraged. Sources suggest that individuals in Diddy's inner circle may be lobbying behind closed doors, pressuring key players to delay or even drop the case entirely. Connections, favors, quiet negotiations. If true, this raises urgent questions. Just how far does this network reach? How many people have a stake in keeping the truth buried? And most importantly, will justice ever truly be served?
Let's talk about the filth that's starting to come out in the early days of the Diddy trial. This, of course, is P. Diddy. Surprise, surprise, he's a creep. Surprise, surprise, he's done horrible things.
And let's not forget the psychological toll this has taken on the survivors. For many, the damage didn't end with the alleged physical abuse. It ran far deeper. They speak of years of manipulation, isolation, and emotional control, a slow erosion of self-worth that left them trapped in silence. Some were allegedly cut off from their families, their phones monitored, their movements restricted. Others were gaslit into believing they were somehow complicit in their own suffering, a cruel psychological tactic that made the idea of coming forward feel impossible. The courage it takes to speak out against someone as powerful as Diddy cannot be overstated. These survivors aren't just seeking justice, they're challenging an entire system built to suppress them. Their bravery is a powerful reminder of the human cost behind these allegations, and it's forcing the world to confront a chilling truth about fame, power, and exploitation. The idea of a hidden elite network once sounded like conspiracy, but now it doesn't seem so far-fetched. For years, there have been whispers, rumors of secret societies operating behind Hollywood's glittering facade. Stories of the rich and powerful using their influence to exploit the vulnerable, shielded by money, lawyers, and silence. And those tunnels beneath Diddy's mansion? They feel like a physical symbol of that hidden world, a literal labyrinth of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Could this be the beginning of a broader reckoning? If Diddy's alleged secrets are surfacing, how many more powerful figures are hiding skeletons of their own? And how far will they go to keep them buried? Because the deeper we dig, the more we uncover a terrifying reality. This isn't just about one man. It's about an entire system built on silence and sustained by complicity.